Patriots have been very busy over the last 48 hours with some signings of Hunter Henry, Chukwuma Okorafor, and now the latest coming in from Ian Rappoport that the Patriots appear open to trading quarterback Mac Jones, and teams have been calling them and doing work on the former starter. With a new coaching staff, a fresh start may make sense for all sides. I'm Nic Rohloff. We will break down everything surrounding Mac Jones, why it didn't work out, what New England could possibly get in a trade for Mac, and 4 potential suitors for the former first-round pick. But first, I do want to show Mac some love. I know it's over, but listen, he did take us to our last playoff game, although that did not go so well up in Buffalo. I believed in Mac Jones. It's unfortunate that it went downhill like it did. I partly blame the front office and Bill Belichick for not getting him weapons. I also blame Belichick for signing and hiring Matt Patricia. But either way, I do want to show Mac some love as it appears he has played his last game for the Patriots. So spam your 10s down in the comment section. This should not be a surprise to anybody out there if you're a fan of the New England Patriots, because it has been widely reported going back to the end of the season in December, January, and pretty much every other week in the offseason so far, it has been reported that the Patriots will likely move on from Mac Jones, and that is the right thing that Eliot Wolf, Gerard Mayo, and this organization should do. It just simply has not gone well for Mac. I mentioned off the top his rookie season. He showed so much promise and potential for the Patriots, leading us to a double-digit win season as a rookie, taking us to a postseason game in his rookie year under Josh McDaniels. And he even made a Pro Bowl. Yes, it was as a fill-in, but he was in Las Vegas doing the gritty. He put up 3,800 yards, 92.5 QB rating, but every year since then it has decreased in almost every single statistic. It just has not been a pretty sight for the former Alabama quarterback, and it's just time to move on. And the part that is the most concerning, if you're a Mac stan or just someone who watches the Patriots every single game like I do, and I assume you do, Mac, it was so clear, lost his confidence as an NFL quarterback. And if you look across every single sport in the entire world, the position that needs the most confidence is the quarterback position. You could say a baseball player because you fail 70% of the time and you're elite, so you need to have confidence in yourself to bounce back. But to be that QB of a franchise, you need to have swagger. You need to have confidence. I think Mac showed that in his rookie year. But this past season was a different person. He was afraid, it almost looked like, when he was dropping back to pass. He did not trust his eyes. He did not trust his offensive line. He was consistently being concerned about pressure and being hit to where he wouldn't stand in a pocket. He would bail out, and he would just throw lame duck passes over the middle that got intercepted or weren't even on target. And I think you could argue on keeping Mac Jones as your backup quarterback and drafting someone at number 3 if he had elite physical traits, whether it be a very strong arm or elite mobility. But Mac doesn't have either of those things. He relies on anticipation, accuracy, and being able to know what the defense is doing post-snap, but also pre-snap. And Mac had absolute no ability to do that in this past season. So to me, it's only a matter of when, not if, Mac Jones gets traded. Same thing that we were saying with J.C. Jackson being cut for the longest time. It was always when it was going to happen, not if, because it made too much sense to cut J.C. Jackson. It makes too much sense to cut or trade Mac Jones, recoup maybe a day 3 pick, whether it be in the 4th or 5th round, and just move on at that quarterback position with a QB in the 1st round and maybe a veteran in NFL for agency. I'll tell you this, though. When Mac Jones does get traded by the New England Patriots, we will have you covered with a video, so hit that sub button today. We've had the news faster than anyone else on YouTube with Okorafor being signed yesterday, Hunter Henry being re-signed this morning. We will have you covered, and like I said, if we get to 9,000 subscribers before Monday at noon when free agency kicks off, I'll do a beer bong. When you think about what the Patriots could get in return for Mac Jones in a potential trade, I think they should be looking for an early day 3 pick in the 4th or 5th round. I am optimistic that New England could sway a team to get that 4th round pick out of them. Maybe that is a little bit too high, but I think a 5th round pick is very, very fair. You have to remember here that Trey Lance, when traded last offseason from San Francisco to Dallas, he got a 4th round pick. Yes, I know there was more time left on his deal, 2 years, compared to Mac likely only having 1 year because he is not getting his fifth-year option picked up. It would be close to $20 million. So that's not going to happen. So you only got 1 year of Mac Jones. So maybe that's why you get a fifth rather than what the 49ers got for Trey Lance, which was a fourth-round pick. But I also will say this, that Mac was way more productive on the field and has played infinitely more games than Trey Lance. Trey hasn't even played more than 14 games in his career. Mac has played 42, right? So maybe you could sway him to get a fourth-round pick. He's a very smart player on paper. I know there's some coaches and executives around the National Football League that still have some faith in Mac Jones. I think that if he was in a good locker room, learn behind a good head coach, he would be a very, very valuable member of a team, whether it be just a quarterback as a backup in the QB room breaking down film, or even being able to spot start or be a bridge quarterback. I think there is some value for Mac, so I would look for a fourth or fifth round pick in this draft or next year's draft. So let's look into some suitors. I think number one, the San Francisco 49ers should be a team that is interested. Kyle Shanahan has a very good track record of developing quarterbacks. You see Sam Darnold step in and play well with him. Brock Purdy got the most out of Jimmy G. You're telling me that Mac Jones isn't as talented as Brock Purdy? Maybe that's a hot take, but there's a reason Mac went 15th overall. There's a reason why Purdy was Mr. Relevant. I know Brock Purdy is a 1 in a million chance here, but when you look at pure talent, I think Mac is just on par. This has not worked out for Mac Jones in his career. So I could see Shanahan and John Lynch taking the chance on Mac Jones, who allegedly and reportedly they heavily considered with the third overall pick back in 2021 when they took Trey Lance over him. I think they would bring him in, get him to learn in that system, and I think if anything went wrong with Brock Purdy, maybe Mac could step up and make a difference. How about the Minnesota Vikings? Kevin O'Connell is a really good coach and a really good quarterback coach, in my opinion. And I don't know what's going to happen with Kirk Cousins, but I know this for a fact. Their backup quarterback position is very bad. Rookie out of BYU in the 5th round, Jaron Hall, is not good. And I don't expect him to be good, but he was bad. And then you have Josh Dobbs, and you saw how much they struggled when Kirk Cousins went down. Let's say they don't re-sign Kirk Cousins. Would it be that far-fetched and crazy to believe Minnesota and Kwesi, their GM, could send a 4th or 5th round pick to New England, potentially to have Mac Jones as their starting quarterback this season, and maybe they sign or draft a quarterback in the 2nd round, Michael Penix, or they want J.J. McCarthy or Bo Nix or someone in that range to sit behind Mac and then take over 4 or 5 games into the season? I don't think it's that crazy of a scenario at all. But let me know down in the comment section. Fill in the blank for me. Mac Jones will play for the blank in 2024. I had to give my guess. It's a team coming up in just a second, but let me know yours down below. I've always thought the Los Angeles Rams make a ton of sense for Mac Jones. Why? Well, Sean McVay is one hell of a coach, and they've had a quarterback reform room, if you will, over the past couple of years with Baker Mayfield coming in and backing up Stafford, playing a couple of games. Then he goes to Tampa Bay and is absolutely terrific and is now in the line to make over $40 million. You obviously saw Carson Wentz step in for a couple of games at the end of the season and look competent once again. That coaching staff does a phenomenal job developing and getting the most out of their quarterbacks. And with Stafford being up there in age, Mac Jones back up Stafford for a couple seasons, learns on McVay, learns on Stafford with that coaching staff. I could see Mac reclaiming a starting quarterback role in this league if he's backing up in that Los Angeles Rams organization. With the last suitor and the one that I would give you as my prediction, when I ask you to fill in the blank, this would be my team, the Denver Broncos. And the Broncos really intrigue me as a team for Mac Jones. It was widely reported back before the 2021 NFL draft that Sean Payton liked him in that draft class. Payton obviously was the head coach of the Saints then, took a year off, and then returned to the Denver Broncos last season in 2023. But could he look to reunite himself with the guy that he once really wanted when you looked at that 2021 draft class? And I cooked up a trade idea that I think would help the Broncos. I think it would also help the New England Patriots quite a bit. Someone that the Patriots have been linked to quite a bit, too. Jerry Jeudy, the wide receiver, who is also a former first-round pick, is heading to Foxborough in return for quarterback Mac Jones and a 2024 sixth-round pick. And you might ask yourself, well, where does this line up on the value? Is this enough for the Patriots to offer for the wide receiver? Well, I asked some people, and I use my own knowledge here. I think because of Judy's struggles as a former first-round pick, you only have 1 year left on his deal before he hits free agency. I think Jerry Judy's value right now is a late second-round pick, third-round pick. Late second, maybe mid to early third. So if Mac is worth a fourth or a fifth, and then you also send a sixth, that value lines up. A fourth/fifth and a sixth is the same amount as a third-round pick. And you get Jerry Jeudy, who has just not quite reached the ceiling people thought he would have. Never eclipsed 1,000 yards in his career. Year 2 had a lot of injuries, didn't get to the end zone. And then the last 2 seasons with Russell Wilson, he was expected to really take form as a first-round pick that was selected inside the top 20. That just wasn't the case. He was close to 1,000 yards in 2022, so a lot of people thought he could be a riser in 2023. Not the case, and if you go back to the offseason just a year ago, the Patriots were heavily rumored as a team that thought about sending a second-round pick to Denver for Jerry Jeudy. Maybe they spin the block and Eliot Wolf decides to send that package of Mac and a 6th-round pick to get a wide receiver that has the potential to be a wide receiver 2, maybe a low-end wide receiver 1 if you really unlock that potential. Peyton, Broncos, maybe get their quarterback with Mac or at least a backup, and they get off Jerry Jeudy because it's been rumored that they likely will get rid of one of Sutton and Jeudy in this offseason via trade as they can't pay both of them and are not in that time frame of having 2 wide receivers making as much when they're not competing for a title. And I'll say this for New England, by the way. A Jerry Jeudy, Demario Douglas, you re-sign Kendrick Bourne for agency for the low, and then you draft a rookie wide receiver in the 2nd round at pick 34 or in the 3rd round at pick 68. That wide receiver room, although it's not unbelievably good on paper, I think it has a chance to stack up to be really, really good. Let's just walk with me here for a second. You got Jeudy on the perimeter. Say he's 1 or 2. And then you got Demario Douglas in the slot, who proved to be the best wide receiver on the Patriots roster last season once Kendrick Bourne went down. You bring back Bourne as that 3rd or 4th guy, and then you draft a Ricky Purcell out of Florida, a Xavier Legette out of South Carolina, a Lad McConkey. Maybe you trade up for A.D. Mitchell and get that 5th-year option in the late 20s, and you move up from 34. You draft one of those stud rookie wide receivers in the first 34 picks, pair him up with Jerry Jeudy, Demario Douglas and Kendrick Bourne inside. Well, now you have some weapons that a rookie quarterback can throw to, and you maybe have an offense that can really be weaponized, as Eliot Wolf and Gerard Mayo said they want to do. Just an idea that I think if you trade Mac to Denver, I'd try to find a way to get Jerry Jeudy coming back to New England in that deal. Like I said in the middle of today's video, when Mac does get traded, and it will happen, make sure you are subscribed to the channel so you do not miss it, and you will see our full breakdown. So join the channel, whether it be myself, Nic Rohloff, Harrison Graham, we'll have you covered. And also, if you want bonus points, turn on those notifications and click turn on all so you never miss a video when it drops.